Okay, hello. And I know I am like the worst tarot reader on YouTube when it comes to consistency, but I am here. And it's been a year since I posted another video, but I just want to say that in that year, a lot of things have changed, okay? So I was not just slacking, I was going through a lot. Good things. So I moved to an entirely different continent and I started a new job. So enough about me. This reading is going to be a message from your future spouse or future partner. And we have 3 groups as always. This time we are using different decks. This is the Literary Witches Oracle, the Harmony Tarot, and the first proper deck I ever got or made, because it's actually the Rider Smith that I printed out and pasted onto black cards. But anyway, 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, so we have 3 groups, and I'm really trying not to edit this video because if I do, I will not post it. So 3 groups. Take your time to decide and we will get started. So we are going to start with group 1. So group 1. Okay. I hope everything is in focus and in place. Okay, anyway. So group 1, if you picked the Literary Witches Oracle, I have wanted this deck for a really long time. So anyway, no, like maybe it has something to do with your relationship, but this deck is my favorite deck ever. It is just so perfect. I love it so much. So maybe you have waited a very long time to manifest or to get your future spouse or partner. Anyway, and maybe your partner or you are very into reading literature, like old literature. I'm getting like a picture of England, like old traditional literature, the kind of literature that you study in school. Maybe one of you might be a person who teaches English or any other language, but different languages, teaching a language, interested in learning a language, writing, might have studied something to do with languages in school, journalism, writing, that sort of stuff. So anyway, I have a little note here that I'm not going to show because my handwriting when I am channeling is terrible, but I'm going to read it anyway. So it says, I'm going to show it. I hope this shows up in camera. Anyway, it has been a long time since you felt the touch of another, since you've had the feeling of being understood, the feeling of there's nothing wrong with you. I know how hard it is to see everyone else have the thing that you want. I know you've been aching for love, to be loved. I feel your pain when you cry yourself to sleep. Okay. And over here we have Laura Iban or something like that. I got someone who is Muslim, has very deep Arabic ancestry, someone from Thailand, someone who is English, Irish, or from England. But again, it doesn't have to be. But like I was saying, teaching English, knows English as a first language only, or is learning English or any of these languages. Yeah. So let's see. So this is gonna be a short reading, so I'm only gonna pull 3 cards because short readings make me a consistent reader, and I'm trying to be consistent. So we're gonna shuffle and pick 3 cards. I love this deck, but it doesn't shuffle very well. And I hope that shuffling noise is not that loud. Okay. Picking up the number 3. So we'll split the deck in 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have Eileen Chang at the bottom of the deck. So if we take a look at the phase of the moon, I think that's the waxing, waning. I am so bad at moon phases, but it is a crescent moon. And I think if you're watching this reading by the time I'm posting it, it's the exact moon phase that we are currently in. I would check my phone, but that's what I'm using to film this video, so we're just gonna go with it. So we have Mary Shelley with loss. We have the lantern and the tree. Right off the bat with the tree, this is probably someone you have, or someone who has been waiting for you for a very, very, very long time. Trees take a very, very long time to grow, and there are trees that are ancient. Like trees can live a very, very long time. Yeah, so with this loss here, you or your person may have sort of quote unquote lost their way while waiting for the other person, in that they might have given up on love and felt like they don't fit in, and they might have, or you have, felt like you would never find your person. One of you or both of you may have been single for a very, very long time. Okay. So since this is a new deck, I'm just gonna read from the guidebook for what they have for Mary Shelley. Let's see. Okay, so here we have Mary Shelley, loss, cycle of life, transition, attachment. Frankenstein isn't the garish zombie story we've seen in pop culture. Inspired by scientific discussions of the day and the complex feelings Mary Shelley had about parenting, Frankenstein is a painful tale about the creation of life and what happens to shunned, abandoned children. Her life was as harrowing as her famous novel. Her great losses of mother, husband, and 3 children tried her ideals of domestic harmony. So Mary Shelley, I think a lot of people know of Mary Shelley. I haven't read Frankenstein, which is very unfortunate because I have wanted to read it for a long time, but it's just never happened. But Mary Shelley is a woman who has lost a lot in her life. You might also be a person who has lost a lot, whether it's people, places, or things. I'm getting a sense of a lot of waiting, a lot of loss, and a lot of feeling like you lost yourself or lost your way, and then sort of impatience and giving up. And sort of like wandering in the woods alone at night, and in the distance you see a lantern, and that's kind of like how it would feel if you were to meet your person, wandering lost in the dark, and out of nowhere you see a lantern, and obviously there's a person holding a lantern. And I feel like this card, Eileen Chang, represent what your person is like. And so let's read from the guidebook. If I tell you, I literally got this deck not that long ago, but I am loving it. There's a lot of authors I haven't read yet, and there's a lot that I have. Okay, so Eileen Chang. Outside forces, events falling into place. Acceptance. Eileen Chang was born to an opium-addicted traditional Chinese father and a westernized mother who learned to ski on bound feet. When 17-year-old Chang contracted dysentery. Contracted dysentery. Her father dismissed her claims of ill health and locked her up in her bedroom for 6 months. She escaped with the help of her nurse. Witty and stylish, Chang was famous in Shanghai for her fiction of troubled romance and family betrayal. Though she died as a recluse in Los Angeles, her work remains popular and beloved in China. Okay, so what I'm getting is that meeting this person is going to definitely feel like fate. You two are both people who have understood what it's like to feel out of place, what it's like to sort of feel lost, like you don't belong. And when you two meet, it's going to almost be like a fairy tale. And since that moon phase, like I said, it's a crescent moon, but I don't know if it's waning or waxing, because I'm bad at moon phases. With that moon phase being the exact same moon phase we are currently in, I would say you can meet this person the same time next year or within a month. Take that as it resonates, but I'm feeling it being very, very soon, like super soon. Okay, so group 2, that is all I have for you. We're going to go to, this is group 1. You might want to check group 2, but group 1, that is all I have for you. We're going to go to group 2. Okay, group 2, if you picked the Harmony Tarot, this is like my first actual proper deck. I got it, I think, a year or 2 ago. Yeah, so with this deck, it's a very light, healing deck, obviously, because the intention was for growth and healing, but it's a very, very light, loving deck, and this energy is so beautiful. But it's not a deck I work with on a regular basis, but it is a very beautiful energy. So I'm feeling like your person has a very, very beautiful energy to them. I'm feeling very extroverted, but very wise and so light. Okay, so I have a channeled message. It's not really a letter because it's really short, but I will read it nonetheless. It says, "The stars at night remind me that we're all on this planet, which essentially is a floating rock. We're all here, all humans and animals alike, and yet loneliness is all I feel. I don't know about you, but I'm so lonely. I wish I knew what it's like to have a family, someone to love and hold on to, someone who won't leave." Okay, and we have something. So the name Iman, something like that. Okay, so group number 2, let's see what other messages your person might have. So this is gonna be a short reading, so I'm only gonna be picking 3 cards. Gosh, I love this deck so much. It's so easy to work with. I feel like your relationship with your future partner, future spouse, is gonna be so easy and so gentle. Shuffling noise. Ooh. Not the best shuffler, but as long as I get the job done. So I'm hearing the number 4, so I'll break this deck up into 4. And I guess I should take 4 cards because I'm hearing the number 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The back of the deck, we have the King of Spring. You know, I think in the Western Hemisphere it's about springtime. It's my first time living in the Western Hemisphere. Well, as an adult. Yeah. Anyway, springtime, the King of Spring. I think this represents your person. Like I said, a very healing, loving energy. And in this deck, the King of Spring is similar to the King of Wands. So very passionate, loving energy. Okay. I'm just now realizing that almost everything I've been doing so far for this reading has been out of frame. Wonderful, love that for me. Oh, we have the King of Autumn. Then the 10 of Winter. The Lupin. And the 4 of Summer. So with the King of Spring and the King of Autumn, we have 2 equally powerful people. Like usually when you read the tarot, whenever we're doing love readings, we have the king and the queen, and they're perfect counterparts apparently. But something is very, very beautiful about having 2 kings or 2 queens together. It's that we have people of equal power, actual partners together. The King of Autumn is the King of Autumn. The King of Spring is the King of Spring. If you were to combine 2 of their kingdoms, you would have an amazing force to be reckoned with. So rather than being complementary, in that where one lacks, the other is abundant, these 2 people, 2 kings, 2 people are very good at whatever it is they're very good at, and they own that. The King of Spring is the King of Spring because he is driven. They are very driven, they're very extroverted, very creative. The King of Autumn is very mind-based, very good at thinking, very analytical. Put these 2 together and you have something so amazing. 2 different strengths working together. A mind, which is thought, which is seeing what can and cannot happen. So rather than just wishing, this person is based in reality. They see things for what it really is. And this person is a person of action. So we have thoughts and action combined. The 2 of you, when you get together, are going to be equals. And a lot of people say that. And usually when people say that 2 people are equals, they usually mean complementary. I really don't think the 2 of you are going to be complementary. You might butt heads at times, but you're going to be equal in power. You're going to understand what it's like to be with someone on the same level as you. So these are 2 people who are amazing at what they do, amazing in who they are, working with another person who is equally amazing in what they do, and therefore creating something new, a third thing. Okay. We have the 10 of Winter, which should be the 10 of Pentacles. We have the Lupin. And these 2 cards are talking usually about goals and ambitions and things that you want to bring into reality, physical reality. So this is talking about a lot of drive and determination, ambition. Your person is very, very fiery. They like to go, go, go. They like to put their money where their mouth is. They like to think of something and make it a reality. They could be an entrepreneur, but whatever they do for a living, it puts a fire, it sparks a fire within them. They really love whatever it is that they do for a living. And they're very organized. And then we have the Four of Summer, which is basically essentially like the Four of Cups. Again, 4 divided by 2 is 2. It's equal. It's an even number. I really feel like the two of you together are equals, partners. You're going to experience what it's like to have someone who is the same as you in power. So it's not going to be a dynamic where one person is more dominant than the other, and it's going to be an actual partnership where people are equally powerful. And it's really nice because this person's going to take your opinions seriously, because they're going to value your opinion, because they also see you as a king of autumn. Not that the king is any more than the queen, but it's tarot, and tarot is tarot, but they see you as a king, you see them as a king, and you value each other's opinions. And that is really, really nice. And I feel with the two of you, you're gonna feel like you're not alone anymore. I feel like the two of you might have experienced a lot of loneliness, which is probably why this person works a lot. They put a lot of their energy into work because they might have nothing else to put their energy into, to be honest. They might not have any friends, because in this card, the person's all by themselves. This card has no people. This card has no people, and I know the deck is a pip deck, but these two cards, only one person. So when the two of you meet, it's almost like an end to the loneliness that one or both of you might have been feeling. So pile number 2, that is all I have for you. We are gonna go to pile number 3. Okay, pile number 3. You picked this deck, which I essentially printed out on regular paper and pasted onto blackboard. It's not an actual deck. And it was my first deck, and I know I could have thrown it away by now because I actually have an actual tarot deck, but I love this thing. There was a lot of investment and time, obviously, that went into this, and I think because of the amount of energy I put into it, it is one of the most accurate decks that I have ever come across. But okay, enough about that. I have a very short and concise note here, and it says, years of struggle and pain will come to an end. You need to know that everything you've been through is a speck compared to the amount of joy you feel. So the amount of joy, I think, is something that you are going to feel, but in this channel, the message, it says the amount of joy you feel, which is interesting because time is relative. The past, the present, and the future are all coinciding in one. So while you might be feeling hopeless, your future self is probably very happy wherever they are, or at least I pray that they are. Anyway, so this is going to be a short reading, and I am going to take 3 cards. But I'm hearing the number 2. So I'm going to divide the deck into 2. Okay, and we have exactly 2 cards. We have Strength and the 9 of Wands. With the message I just read, it makes perfect sense. The feeling of being alone, and the feeling of being tired of being sick and tired, the feeling of being tired of being tired. Makes perfect sense. I think the 2 of you have both been alone. You might have been alone for a very, very, very long time. And this could be physically, like, you may have never been in a relationship. Or this can be emotionally, even if you were in a relationship before, you may have felt alone in that relationship, which is one of the worst kinds of loneliness, is when you're in a relationship and you still feel alone. So this person is telling you to continue doing what you are currently doing because you're on the right path, and to continue having that inner strength that you will overcome whatever adversities you're currently going through. This person's also trying to say that there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing that you need to fix. You know that saying, if you are feeling bad or depressed, make sure that you're not surrounded by horrible people. So there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing that you need to fix. You might just be surrounded by horrible people. Okay. At the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving knight in the deck. And it might be that you have waited a very, very long time, but probably you're rolling your eyes as you're hearing that and like, yeah, I've heard it all before. But I'm not gonna lie and say that you're gonna meet your person tomorrow or 1 year from now. Could be, but I'm feeling a lot of waiting. And that might not be what you want to hear, but you have waited a long time for this person. And when you meet this person, you're going to feel so happy that you have waited. So whatever it is that you are currently doing, whether it's waiting or not, whatever it is that you're doing, you are on the right path. With the 6 of Pentacles here, it's to continue doing whatever you are doing. And when you meet this person, there is going to be a reciprocal relationship. It's not going to be all give, and it's not going to be all take. It's going to be like, if you see the above the lady's head in the Strength card, we have an infinity symbol, which is basically never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending stream of giving and taking. So it's nourishment, right? The example I'm gonna give is like nourishing your body. You obviously put food in and things come out of your body, but it's a never-ending cycle. Things go in and out of your body, and it is nourishment. Your body knows exactly what to keep and what to let go of. I think that is a lesson that you are learning right now. What to keep, which types of people to keep in your life, and which types of people to let go of. So whatever it is, pile number 3 that you are currently doing, continue doing that. And yeah, that's all I have for you, pile number 3. Goodbye.